joining us today. Good morning or early afternoon soon. So I just want to run through what we're going to cover today. So in a while, I have my colleague Ken come up to share with you some helpful tips about how to never miss a beat, right? How to automate emails, reminders, and notifications, and how that helps you to boost productivity. And then following that, we'll have a guest speaker, Mr. Raymond Lam from Pagero, who will be sharing with us about the e-invoicing and the PayPal network and why this is the way to go for a future fronting or a future forward business. Then lastly, we'll actually cover the MDEC SME grant for Malaysian companies and how you can actually take advantage of that to help you with your digitalization. So without further ado, let me hand the reins over to Ken. Ken, please take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tisha. So we will start the sections now. So if you have any questions, you can have it later on. We will answer your questions in the Q&A section after my presentations. Raymond and also Kisha are present on the MDEC. So let's start with the slide. So I will switch on my screen to reduce the lateness. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here and also say, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box, and then we'll get to them at the appropriate time. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Tisha. Okay, so let's start with our section, which is my section. So in this section, I'm going to introduce you the BC standard functions with its reminder, and also we will have a look at our additional app, which is automating email notifications. Okay, so before I start to letting you see the ERP system and also the functions, I would like to have an introduction for myself and also the company. So this is my profile. My name is Ken. I'm a functional consultant in CRT Insights Technology. So my job involves on understanding clients' business process, determining their needs, configuring applications such as Business Central in alignment with their business needs, and also ensuring the usability and also smooth transition into their new system. So I have been in this industry for 5 years. So I'm mostly involved in project implementation for Navision and also BC. So this two is the same ERP system. This one is the previous version, one is the latest version. So in the project implementations, and we handle from the full process from design phase to understand client's business requirement to application setup, key user training, user testing, and also lastly, we will complete the project with system go-live support and also money support. So now, first thing, before who are we? So we are CRT Insights Technologies, was founded in 2006, and our HQ is in Johor, Malaysia, and we have regional office in Singapore and KL. So we provide solutions and consultations on ERP implementation to meet market business in the region. Our solution helps companies to gain control over their core business processes, protect their supply chain, and realize their organization goals. Why we call ourselves CRT and what does it mean? Our brand promise is to be the team that truly cares and deeply respects the trust that our customers have in us. So respect and trust are also the core values that we practice internally within our organization, allowing us to reach the greater heights. And the industry that we serve, from manufacturing to engineering, life science, distribution, building material, and construction. Solutions and service that we provide, such as business consultation and business analysis, ERP system like Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central that I'm going to show you today, and also we provide Microsoft 365 solutions and some other ERP systems like Automatica. And also, we have our own technical teams that will build custom software and mobile apps. Lastly, we have help desk support teams that provide technical and functional assistance. So that's all for the introduction for myself and also the company. So let's start with the first topic, which is I'm going to introduce you a function called Reminder, which is the same function in Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC, which is stands for Business Central. So you might have heard of the previous version, which is Dynamic Navigation. So BC is the latest version. I'm going to introduce you these functions in BC, and after that, I will introduce you our own ISV app, which is we call it ACT app, one-click email notification. So this notification is to enhance the notifications in the standard BC, also allow user to receive more notifications on some other scenario. Okay, let's start with my first topic, which is reminder. So what is BC function reminder? You will have the scenario that in your company, when you already send out the invoicing to your customer. So some of the customer will pay on time, of course, but we do have some of the customer will kind of forgot the invoice to be paid. Then they will have the invoice that over the due date, over the payment term that you set to customer. And those overdue invoice, you will need to remind customer to perform the payment. So instead of in the system, you're finding from the ledger entry or the customer history on the invoices one by one to filter out all those overdue invoice. We have this function called reminder. It will very easily to help you gather out all those overdue invoice for the customer. And also, if you have further contact with the customer, you might find the customer when they have overdue invoice payment. So in this function, it also allows you to configure the find value, which is the find amount that to find customer on the late invoice payment. So these functions on the reminder is not only documents in the system, it also able to generate out a report for you to send out to the customer. Okay, so before I go into the ERP system, I will like to show you some of the screenshots on this reminder first. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the ERP system, Dynamics 365 Business Central. So we have the documents called reminder with the auto running number and customer name. And below here, they will have show that what is the invoice that overdue for the customer, and also the additional fee that must pay for the customer for the late invoice payment. And also this is the sample report that the customer. So we have the company logo, customer information, our company information, and below is the list of the overdue invoice and the total amount must be paid. Okay, so now let me show you in the actual system. Okay, so let me refresh this. Okay, so in here, as you can see here, this is our Dynamics 365 Business Central. So this is browser based. So as long as you have the links, then you're able to log in into the browser with VPN or without VPN. So this is the first landing page that for this ERP system. So this landing page is a role-based landing page, which different role you will get a different landing page. Example that I'm showing you here, I'm with the role of sales order processor. So once I'm come in, I see the system with any humans or reports or functions that related to sales role. Okay, of course, we got some other role like for finance, AR, AP, for IT teams, or even for the manager level, we have the role to for each personnel. Okay, so this is just a quick introduction on what is the ERP system we're looking at and the landing page. So now let's have a look on the reminder. So I have set up a quick in the first landing page. So very easy. I just click on the and I'm able to come into the functions that I want. So now let me go to this document. Okay, if let's say today I would like to check what is the overdue invoice for this customer. Okay, so I just need to come into the document, select the customer, and then one click on the process to suggest my reminder line. Okay, so I need all those entries that with overdue invoice. Okay, so now below here you will see that the invoice has been generated out. So as per the date of the system today's date, so all these three invoices has been overdue for this customer, and that is the remaining amount that they need to pay. And also I will charge them the additional fee based on our contract that they will have the $5 to be additional charge. So now this reminder has been complete. The next thing is we just click issue, then this reminder will be issued out in the system. So issue out is to keep track that which of the customer we already generate reminder or not. So now when I come to the issue reminder, I have this, the one I just issued just now. Okay, so from here I can generate out the documents that I would like to send to the customer. So let me have a preview in here before you actually want to download the document. So yeah, as the screenshot I showed in the slide, it's the exact layout with the invoice listing and also the total amount. Of course, for this reminder, you are able to send to different documents you want, PDF, Word, or Excel. Okay, so once you generate it out, then you can send out the reminder to the customer. Then the customer will know they will have this overdue invoice to be paid. Okay, so that will be the reminder. So now, next, I'm going to introduce you the function developed by CRT, which is ACT, one-click email notification. The name is quite long. I will just shortcut it as ACTF one-click. Okay. So now, what is this app that going to help us in Business Central? Okay. So this app is developed by us and is to enhance the standard BC email notification feature. So let's have a look on the standard notification features and those limitations that can be solved using our apps. So now, in BC, which is Business Central ERP system, it will allow to provide you the notifications on the document approval, no matter if sales, purchase, okay, or maybe ARAP. So once you send out the document, system will send you the email notification to notify you, to notify the HOD say that you have these documents to be approved, to notify the sender that this notification has been rejected. Okay, but they have the limitation, which is sender, okay, didn't receive approved email notification. Okay, this is in standard. The sender will not receive the email notification when the document is approved. Next, report scheduler also is a standard function in BC. Again, it allows you to schedule the report. And it will show in the landing page of the system. For example, you want to receive the report every weekly. You can schedule it every weekly 9 a.m. in the morning on Monday. Then system will auto run and send to you. But they have a limitation here, which is the report scheduler, you only can schedule for yourself, which is not convenient when you want to schedule it for your colleague or even you want to schedule the report to be automatically sent to your HOD. So that is the limitation on the standard functions on report scheduler. And the third is email out posted document. Okay, so system allow you to email out the posted document. So I just go to example, go to posted sales invoice and just click on the send by email button. It will send out the documents to your customer. But they have one limitation, which is when involving multiple email grouping. Example, you want to send to the customer and CC the customer HOD. So in standard, it's not able to cater until the CC level. It's only until cater in the 2 level, and also it's only allow you to set up one email address. Okay, with our apps, of course, ACT one-click, we're able to solve all these 3 limitations and even enhance it more. You have more features. Okay, so now, complete the introduction and the explanation on what is one-click. Let's have a look at the screen. So we will first start with the approval notification first. And in here, I put out a one chart that more clear for you what is able to achieve by sender and what is able to achieve by our ACT one-click. So now let's have a look in here. So this is approval email. Approved email system will send out four status, which is when the sender is request, and when HOD is approved, when sender cancel, when HOD is reject. Okay, so we separate user to two types, which is sender and also approver. So who is sender, who is approver? Let's take an example. Today I am created a purchase order, and the purchase order over certain amount. So I will need my HOD example to approve me. So I will send out, I will click the button on the request approval, then the request will send to Kisha. So now I am the sender because I sent out the request. Kisha will be the approver because Kisha will be the one to decide to approve or reject on my purchase order. Okay, so now we have the column for BC standard, and also we have the column for BC with our ACT one-click. Okay, so now let's have a look row by row. So approval email request. When sender click on the request button, the email will send to approver. But you as a sender, you will not have the email. This is in standard. Now, when approval is approved on the document, when you as a sender, you also not able to receive the notification. You will need to check in the system time to time. HOD, yes, HOD will definitely receive the email even it's approved. When it comes to cancel, means when I, as a sender, I send out the document already, and I find out something is wrong, I will cancel the approval, then I can make amendments on my purchase order. So when I click on cancel, HOD will receive an email as well, get notified that the request has been cancelled. So now when it comes to real situation, when approval is reject, then we as a sender, we will receive the reject. So now, standard, we will have some limitations here, might cause inconvenience for user, especially on the approved email. Approved email, where you as a sender, you're not able to receive. So this will cause users some effect to keep checking in the system to know the document is approved or not, or even they need to get notified from HOD. So with our ACT one-click, we solve all this. No matter you are sender or approver, all type of approval status, you will receive an email for you to keep track in your Outlook. Okay, this is just a chart. Let me show you some of the screenshots. So now this is the standard email screen when the approval sent out on request. So you will see that with a title, of course, then this is sent to my HOD. So example, my HOD is CRT support team. So you will send to my HOD. It didn't see anyone. And below here, you will send hello, something about the company. This is to notify you which documents. Okay, and details created by who. So this is standard name. So this is the standard email notification. So of course, you do have some limitations that you do not have the multiple recipients. So now let me show you with our ACT one-click screen. Now, ACT as one-click screen, when it comes to the approval notification on request, so we can see the differences here. Let me point out one by one. So first thing is the title. Title is configurable. You're able to configure in any format that you want. So example here, I put in the format approval request with my Cronus, which is my company name, with the vendor name here, and also purchase order number. So from the title, I already have the company name, vendor name, and also my purchase order number. Next is multiple recipients. You can see that here, I send to my HOD team to approve me, and the email will CC myself as a sender, and also I would like to have my colleague Lynn to be involved to keep track on the approval that I sent out, so I can set up additional recipients here to receive email as well. So this do not have any limitations. You can in how many email that you want. Next is attachment. Standard we do not together with the attachment. With our app, we together with that. They will save HOD time. Instead of go to the system, they can straight away check from there. Lastly, is the configurable email content. So the email content here, you're able to add in any format or any wording that you want. So you will see more clearer from here. Okay. So now this is on request. Let's have a look at the next, which is when approved. So now when HOD has approved the document, you can see that same we have the customized system, so you can see that approval approved, and also system is sent to me as a sender, so system will notify the sender, notify the colleague, and also you will CC the approval in the email. Okay, of course, together with some other features that we have, the attachments and also the email content. So now, next is when we come to reject. So reject, same thing. When approval is reject, then sender will be get notified, and also we CC the approval. And come to cancel, approval received, and sender will be in CC. Okay, so that is just a screenshot I want to show you. And this is just some advanced functions that we have in one click and not available in BC standard, which is configure email subject, multiple recipients, attachment, and also configure email content. All these are available with our ACT one click. So now I'm going to show you one scenario in the system with the approval notification. Okay, so let me get back to here and go to my first landing page. Okay, so now I will go to purchase order and I would like to send out approval. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, I will select this purchase order with my vendor London Postmaster. Status is open. Okay, and amount is 1001. Okay, so now I will send out approval for this document. Okay, so system will start working on it to generate the report and also to send out the email. It's already done. You can see that the status here is already changed to pending approval. It means my email already sent out. So remember the name of London Postmaster and also the amount 1001. So now let me show you in my Outlook. Okay, so now you can see that in my Outlook here, it's come with the CRT support team, receive all this information to the approval, CC the sender, and also you can see the date, the tense is just now. Okay, so London Postmaster with the amount of 1001. Next, let's say I'm going to cancel it. So I find out something is wrong, I want to cancel it, so I will come to request and cancel it. Okay, so same system will working on it, so it will send you the message one is done, has been cancelled, and the status brings back to open. Let me show you in here again. So you can see we immediately receive the email say that approval is cancelled. Okay, of course together with the attachment as well. All this is configurable with attachment, without attachment, what type of contents and what type of subject, who is the recipient, everything is configurable. Now let's get back to here. The next that I'm going to talk about is for the features on the report scheduler. So in BC, they have the report scheduler, but the way is different. So let's have a look at the difference. BC standard, for the report scheduler, you will receive the report in the landing page. Okay, because this report scheduler of BC standard is designed to let you receive in landing page, not email. Okay, but with our ACT one click is more focused on the email because we want user to receive the email instead of keep checking in the system. So ACT one click, the report you will be received in your email inbox. Okay, of course together with the recurring setup, attachment, sender, and the one click able to achieve. And one click we have additional features which we talk about just now. email subject, email content, configurable, and also multiple recipients. And so this is just the standard screen that for the BC standard, you will receive the report in the landing page, one place called report inbox. So you receive the report here. Okay, so you can download it anytime. But the limitation is you must log into the system. Next is app screen. So now when come with our ACT app will send the email out to you, okay, and also CC whoever that you want to include. Okay, so of course this one also can be in the recurring. One more thing I want to highlight is remember the reminder that we the standard function that we looked just now. So just now in the reminder, until the last stage is we will need to generate the report and send out to the customer manually. But now with ACT app, we able to further enhance it. With the ACT app, we can make it in the report scheduler as well. Then it will automatically send out to the customer. Of course, different customer will have different customer email. That one, no problem. We have the features called email user group to achieve that. To send out the email to different customer grouping. Okay, so this is just let you know that we're able to enhance the reminder with our ACT app. So now I'm going to demo in the Business Central. Okay, so let's have a look at the BC standard one, which is the report inbox. Okay, so this is the report inbox for BC standard. Once you schedule the report, system will send you in here. Okay, not in the email, but in the landing page. So you can download the report anytime when you click, then you will start to download it. Okay, so now if with our ACT app, we need to put in the configurations, which is in the job field. So this is just a place that it will automate out the email sending. Okay, so I will just quickly show you from here. So just ignore this is quite setup pages. Okay, so I will just want to let you know that we're able to schedule the report from here. So this is the report that I want to schedule. So below here we got the recurring that want to run on which day of the week, or maybe I want to put the recurring method, which is 1 week. Okay, so you can put in the starting time and end time as well. So now I would like to receive the document. So just let me put in and let it run. Okay, so I have set the status to ready. So it will be running now 11:30 and it will send out to my email. So this setup only one time. Once your setup ready, it will keep running based on the recurring formula that you put in. So let me switch to my system email inbox here. So now you can see here. Corner top 10 customer, so with the list that I want, I think so it sent out just now. Okay, so this is for the report inbox. So now last feature is for email posted document. In BC standard, email posted document, you're able to put in the attachment, of course, and in here. But with the ACT one click, same things, we have the most major enhancement is we can preset the recipient grouping. Standard, you only can set one email address, and we can pre-configure the email subject and email content as well. Okay, so it's the same as the standard screens and also the screens. So now let me show you in the system so you can have a better view. Okay, and so this scenario, I will be using posted sales invoice. Of course, we're able to achieve in posted sales versus purchase document. So now I'm using the scenario with the posted sales invoice. So in posted sales invoice here, if let's say I'm using the standard to send out the document. Okay, so let me get the standard function, which is send by email. Okay. So standard function, when I click on send by email, it will capture one email address from the customer card. and CC BCC is blank, so you will need to put in if you have additional recipient. Subject is fixed already, so they have a message box here. You can key in the message that you want for the customer. So of course, this will take some time if you need to key in for every customer. Okay, so now below here, together with the attachment as well. So this is the standard. So let's say I click on send email. Okay, then it will send out to the. Okay, so now if let's say with our ACT one click. Okay, so I will show two samples. The first one is with the Kronos group. The second one is with the SLG Limited. Okay, so let's now have a look at the Kronos group. I will use the function of ACT send email notification. So let me click on this one. Okay, so now you will see that it will capture the email as well, but this time the email is together with the additional recipient. With the Joey means the additional recipient from the customer, and also with my email, which is the center email, and also with my colleague email. So all this email we can pre-configure, of course, together with our format email subject and also the message. So message here you still can change if you have any, and there will be the attachment. So once everything is completed, you can click on send email, then it will send out. Of course, this step we can disable it. So instead of you click on the buttons, then you have to tap again to click another button. We can disable the screen just now to reduce the 2 clicks to 1 click. So you 1 click only, then it will automatically send out. So you do not need to go to the screen to start. So that setup is configurable. So now I have shown the Kronos group. Then the next I'm going to show for the SLG group. The purpose of I showing two groups is I want to let you look, have you see on the email address. So now you see, when I select another customer, it will capture another email address with another CC recipient as well. So now I have mine in the 2 column, and I have Olivia in the CC column. Okay, so of course for others it's same, so it will auto capture the customer names and also the invoice number, etc. So now same, I will send out this email. Okay, so now let's go to my Outlook here. In my Outlook, you can see that with the email of sales invoice 3085 for the Kronos group with Andy and Joey, and for the sales invoice 3002 for the SLG group with Mike and Olivia. Okay, so this is the feature set in our ACT one click that we're able to achieve. Okay, so that comes to my summary. So I have go through for the BC function reminder. So this is the standard functions that help you to chase out the customer on those overdue invoice payments. And next, I have introduced you our ACT app that developed by CRT, which is one-click email notification to enhance on the standard functions on approval notifications, report scheduler, and also email out the posted payments. So thank you very much. I will hand over the section back to Kisha.
Okay, thanks, Ken. So these kind of things, like the email notifications and the reminders, these are mostly small things that we seldom think of. But if you really think about how much time you're actually spending doing all of this, it really takes up your time from your productive KPI fulfilling kind of activities, right? So I hope you got some helpful tips. There was quite a bit of content that Ken covered, but in case if you've missed anything, don't worry, we'll actually send out the video recording after the session. Okay? So moving on, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. So Mr. Raymond Lam will be coming on in a bit. Raymond, hi, I see you on
Hi,
camera
can you see
already.
me?
So
Yeah.
Raymond is the MD for Pagero ASEAN. And if you haven't heard of Pagero, so Pagero is a smart business network that connects buyers and sellers. So what they do is they help companies to automate with compliance and security for their transactions, helping businesses to streamline their order to cash and purchase to pay. And we've actually been working with Pagero quite closely because they are our partners for Pepper Solutions in our ERP system. So we've helped to implement the Pepper solutions for our customers who are using BC and Acumatica as well. And if you were not previously aware, our BC and Acumatica solutions are all in Singapore. It's actually IRAS approved. So with that, I'll hand over the mic time to Raymond. Thanks, Raymond.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Good?
Yes, can hear you perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much, CRT and Kisha, for slotting a short session today for me to highlight the e-invoicing that we have developed, integrated with CRT for Microsoft BC or Navision's community. Hi, everyone. My name is Raymond, head up as the partner manager for ASEAN region for Pagero. I'm based in Singapore, and today I'm pleased to use 5 to 7 minutes just to briefly share who, what, and how we can help as Pagero company partnering with CRT in e-invoicing. Okay, many will agree in adopting tools used for communications between or among people today has been well in advance, right? We have transformed from using traditional way of writing letters to handheld device to today a smartphone when communicating with people or friends. However, we do not see this happening yet when communicating between business documents. Analog way still highly practiced. There is no connectivity between your buyer and seller within the business documents into a digital or automated way. You still send hard copies invoices, PO, email in PDF, which is not e-invoicing. So looking from the AR perspective, we continue to see challenges in companies spending on papers, toner for printer, buying stamp, etc. Delays in payment from customer due to loss of invoices or errors. A manual input from your buyer received the invoice resulted in poor data and inaccuracy. And from the AP perspective, we still see companies spending longer cycle in three-way matching procedure. If hard copies are received with the pandemic, might have delay in processing supply invoices, resulted loss of discounts, or worse still, a loss of credibility from suppliers. On the other hand, by digitalizing both the buying and selling process, we are essentially able to prevent human interventions, producing better quality and actionable data, improve efficiency, and ultimately saving costs. So therefore, why communicating business documents still manual? What is missing elements or link? It is related to connectivity. Essentially, what Pagero does is to create a network for ERP or accounting software, just exactly like your smartphones require a mobile operator to make and receive calls. An ERP without a network is like a phone without an operator. So what is the main drivers that drive towards both CRT and Pagero coming together to enable the digitalizations of your business documents, i.e. your invoicing or PO, etc. Firstly, in order to create a digital economy, the government of your countries are regulating digital document exchange in a standardized way. Later on the slides, I will share what Singapore has done from this perspective, and Malaysia is reviewing the similar approach. Next, from the B2P perspective, through automations, we achieve simplifications and increase efficiencies. And lastly, It is all about the accuracy of our data to have a quality and actionable data. In this diagram, we illustrating as a service provider for the network. Pagero focus is to provide a solutions to the challenges you are encountered today within the purchase to pay, which is your AP, and order to cash, which is your AR. Having both end of your trading partners connected through Pagero or any approved open network. Essentially, we are facilitating the exchange of your business communication in an effective, faster, and accurate manner, making sure buying and selling process can be easy, free up your time in building your core business. So therefore, Singapore through IMDA, the government has adopted e-invoicing through a PEPL infrastructure, which was rebranded to Invoice Now. I'm sharing this model as Malaysia government through MDEC is in the pilot phase, reviewing the similar model to roll out for B2B and B2G. Due to pandemic, this got slightly delayed. Yeah. However, nothing stopped enterprise start reviewing your internal process and make necessary changes as we explained earlier, the other two drivers that drive such automations. Through PEPL, the format will be standardized, routing of the invoice can be digitalized. So how does this partnership with CRT helps you as Microsoft users to achieve the same end-to-end automations? Firstly, note that this partnership will allow Microsoft users to send and receiving electronic invoices via Pagero as an open network operator provider, conforming to the required format for B2B and B2G. Example, if you are suppliers to the government bodies. Note again, this integration with Microsoft will work for both your inbound, your AP, and the outbound AR invoices. Pagero do support documents beyond invoices. The roadmap that we have is enable companies to digitalize such as PO, dispatch advisors, etc. as well. If you have supplier or clients outside your countries, Pagero has the capabilities to onboard your trading partner so as to achieve 100% digitalizations. Today, we have support to more than 70 plus country requirements across 140 countries. So in this final slides, these are just some of our global Microsoft customer using Pagero for e-invoicing. The extension of such add-on that we have developed do support from Navisions from 2016 onwards to Microsoft PC 365. So once again, thank you for listening in. It's a short presentation here. So do get in touch with CRT for a demo starting from November, mid-November onwards, and I can answer any question later on as well. Thank you. Over to you, Keisha. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Raymond. So yeah, I think in particular what I like about the Pagero concept is this concept of buying and selling should be easy, and having e-invoicing really helps businesses to reach globally, in fact, actually. So thanks, Raymond, for sharing. So as I mentioned earlier, I'll be touching on the SME digitalization grant for Malaysian businesses. Or even if you're a Singapore business but you have a registered entity in Malaysia, this will apply to you. This grant is actually an initiative that is being taken care of by MDEC in Malaysia, and it's actually being approved by BSN. So BSN is I would say, the disbursement partner for the grant. Okay. So what I'll be sharing is a brief introduction on the grant, the benefits for SMEs, and how do you know whether you're eligible or not. And also we'll run through the application workflow and share a bit about the approved solutions that we have. So in the Malaysian budget 2020, the government actually said this, to quote them, to build a digital Malaysia, the private sector must come on board. More Malaysian small medium enterprises or SMEs need to adopt digitalization measures for their business operations. And this includes the solutions under 7 digitalization areas that have been identified by the Initiative Task Force. So as you can see here, we have digital marketing, we have remote work, ERP, accounting, and etc. So in order to assist companies in digitalization, because they do recognize that, you know, it's a cost that people maybe have not thought of or have not budgeted for, so they're going to provide a bit of help. So in order to assist companies in digitalization, the government has set aside RM 500 million to provide a 50% matching grant of up to 5,000 ringgit per company or per entity for the subscription of approved services in the 7 digitalization areas. So what does this mean for you? So in the face of vastly different business landscape, you know, the new normal that we are in today is a great opportunity for businesses to do a couple of things. So firstly, to refresh and renew, and to appeal to a new breed of digital savvy customers, which are the customers of today and the future. It can also help them to build new capabilities. For example, going into e-commerce or automating certain processes or even creating a new line of products or services. Can help businesses to build a more resilient business, one that is not affected by remote work or lockdown, and have a better business continuity and increased efficiency. So this will help you to do more and do better. And then it can also help you to build a more agile business, which is able to navigate and adapt to changes readily with whatever the new normal throws at you, right? And lastly, reach globally. So while global expansion is a lesser sort of benefit, digitalization is actually the fastest route to domestic and international expansion because it means that you are no longer bounded by geographical location. So the government expects that this digitalization process and disbursement of the funds will be in place until 2025 to allow more businesses and companies to come on board. But there's a caveat to this. So if you've worked out the math, this means that it will only be for the first 100,000 SMEs only. So time is ticking away. So how do you know if you are eligible or not? This is a simple checklist really, but what I'll share with you later on is we do have a tool for you to check your eligibility. It's a simple form. And you can just go in, answer a few questions, and then it will actually show you whether you're likely to be eligible or not. So I'll just run through briefly. So the criteria for the grant is firstly, the company has to be registered in Malaysia under the relevant business registration laws, or a cooperative or corporation registered under SKM. You need to have at least 60% Malaysian ownership. You must be in operation for at least 6 months. This grant is unfortunately not open to new startups that are, you know, just registered, newly registered, or less than 6 months. And you need to have an average annual sales turnover of 50,000 ringgit minimum. So how does it work? Unlike other grants and subsidies, for this MDEC grant, the special thing about it is you do not need to pay 100% of your cost upfront and wait for the reimbursement to your company. So to make it simple, this is a quick chart of how the application process goes. So right from the get-go, when we work with prospects and we find that, okay, the solution that you are looking at and also your company is likely to be eligible, what we'll do is we'll typically provide all documents to you from the get-go. So once you've decided on what solutions you're interested in, you can just simply fill in a form with all your company details and compile the copies of all the required documents in a list that we will provide to you, then send it back to us and we'll do the rest of it for you. So from there, BSN will notify you if your application has been approved. Okay, so once it's been approved, you only need to make the 50% payment of the total invoice amount if it is 10,000 ringgit or less, or if it's more, then you actually pay the balance amount less the expected grant amount, which is at the maximum of 5,000 ringgit. And remember to obtain a proof of payment either via the bank transaction receipt or any official document, because this needs to be submitted to the bank. And that's all you need to do. So from there, BSN will complete the rest of the process and for your application, and then disperse the grant amount directly to CRT. And by this time, we'll already release the licenses to you, so you can start using them already. So this is the compilation of the approved solutions that we have with CRT. So as you can see, we actually have e-invoicing Apple solutions over here. So let me go back. Okay, so like what Raymond shared with us earlier. So if you're interested in doing the e-invoicing, it is an approved solution. And also earlier, the one that Ken shared on, which is the ACT one-click email notifications, that is also an approved solution. We also do have, for those who are not yet on an ERP system, Acumatica and Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central are all approved solutions. So if you have, if you're interested in any of this, just get in touch with us. We'll share with you more information. So the last step is, or not really last step, but my last slide basically in today's session is, as I mentioned earlier, we do have an eligibility self-assessment tool. So you can see the first QR code over here, or if you're not able to scan that, you can actually go to this URL. So this will take you to a very simple form. You have to just fill in a couple of details about your company and about basically your company status according to the eligibility criteria. Then we'll actually show you whether you are eligible, likely to be eligible or not. And if you are not, then what are the alternatives that you can do? And also, the other one that I would like to share with you is, okay, if you have any questions about any of the MDEC solutions, or if you just in general just want to find out, hey, do you have this, do you have that, is it approved? You can scan in the second QR code over here, or go to this URL, and that's just a quick contact form, and we'll get back to you within 1 to 3 business days on any of your inquiries.